Hello and welcome. My name is Daniel Ball and I'm Head of Digital Engagement at the Lee Academies Trust, and today we're going to be looking at line and paragraph spacing in Google Docs. Now, I spent many years formatting documents to ensure they look good. There are simple things such as making sure headers stay with the text that they're talking about or not having lines slip onto the next page, plus just making sure that your document is readable. So we're going to look at some pointers today in how to use the line and spacing paragraph tools in Google Docs to improve the look of your document, and also to highlight how using styles is key in this process. So here I've got my document laid out and it's got no line formatting or paragraph spacing, anything like that. So again, all the information is here, but it doesn't look very readable. So the first thing to be aware of is that you do have styles already set out in Google Docs. They're here in this drop down and you can go in and you can click on a style. Now, I've previously gone through and formatted my styles to make them a bit more personalized, but there are default styles in Google Docs. Now, with any style, you're then thinking about the size, the font, and the spacing as well. And if you want to change any of these, you can do so here with the font and the size, but the spacing is what we're really looking at today. And so you've got this button here for line and paragraph spacing. This is your quick access. I can click that here and I can see my options there, or I can go into format, line and paragraph spacing, and again I see the same options there. So the first thing I want to think about is line spacing. So you've got some options here of single, 1.15, 1.5 and double. Let's have a look how this looks on normal text. Now again, the idea behind line spacing is that you're trying to make this readable. If text is too scrunched together, it's very hard to read. Equally, if it's too spaced out, then it's going to be difficult to look at as well. So I've selected my paragraph. I'm going to click on here and we'll look at the different options. So this is single at the moment. I'll click 1.15 so you can see it's spaced it out a little bit. 1.5 a lot, and double there. Double is particularly good if you're writing something for an essay and you need to hand it in double line spacing, and you can use that. But obviously just for readability that's not very good. So normally what I would always use is 1.15 for my readability. So even so, if I selected all of my text here, I'll just select everything, Control A, 1.15, it's there. So still it just looks like a bit of a mash of text. It doesn't break it up very well. So the next thing I'm going to look at is paragraph spacing. Now again, if I select my paragraph here, and then I can add space before a paragraph or after a paragraph. So let's click on these, and what this does is Google will just insert a default spacing, which I believe is 10 points. I can check this by clicking on custom spacing, and you can see I've got my line spacing here and my paragraph spacing 10 and 10. Now obviously if I wanted to, I could go in and change this. So imagine 1.15 was too much for my line spacing. I could change it to 1.05 for example. Equally, it might be that my paragraph spacing is out. So I might say, well actually I don't want that much before a paragraph. I'm just going to put say 2, but I want a bigger amount after, and I'm going to click 16 and click apply. And so you can see how it's then formatted that. Now as we go, one thing to bear in mind is what you can do is update your style. So all of this text is normal text. You can see that here. So if I select the paragraph that I've updated, I then click on my style, click on the little arrow across, and I can update my style. So that means that then applies to all of that text. Now it didn't quite do it there. Let's try it again. And maybe you need to reapply this. There we go. We're going to reapply the styles. Normally it would apply automatically. For some reason it doesn't seem to be today. So there you go. I've reapplied that on all of my styles. Now I didn't do it here because this is going to be my subtitle and my heading. So you can see here again how I've already set up some paragraph spacing. So it's got a big paragraph spacing before and little paragraph spacing after, because I personally feel that when you're doing a heading you want it to connect nicely with the text below. So after this we've got some other options. Keep with next. Now what this means, and you'd have this applied to a header, because I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to apply my header here. If I do a header 1, so this header style already has keep with next on, so I'm going to take that off so you can see what it does. If I hit enter, then you've got a title that isn't connected with the text, and so keep with next is a style you always want for your titles. So if I click keep with next, it means it keeps it with the next paragraph. The next option I'm going to look at is keep lines together. So again, if I select this paragraph, at the moment this paragraph is split over 2 pages. If I click on the drop down, you can see keep lines together is not on. And if I click keep lines together, it moves it all together. So what it basically does, it means it doesn't split your text over 2 pages. So again, if you never want that split, this is how you could do that. So I've just taken that off, done a bit of editing, and again you've got another example here of some text that doesn't look too good. You've got your paragraph and you've got a word or a line on the next page. So again, if I select this, if I look at the option prevent single lines, it means it will split it, but just so that you've never got one line all on its own. The last option on our line and paragraph spacing is add page break before. Now this is a new option, and if I click this on here, it means that my header has gone on to the next line. Now previously I could have done this by inserting a page break, by insert break, and I could have done a page break, but what this wouldn't have done is added it in as a style. So imagine I always wanted my header 1 style to have that feature on. So now if I select this and click update heading 1 to match, you can see here my heading 1 style has been applied here and it started on a new page. Now imagine I started here and I'm going to have another header 1 and I apply my style, it will then automatically start it on a new page. So just to summarize, we've got our styles here, we've got our line spacing to make it readable and just nicely spaced. As I said, you can customize it if you go into custom spacing, and the same with our paragraph spacing before and after. And this will vary and you can play with it as you find something that suits you. Keep with next means that your headers and your body text are not split up. Keep lines together means that a paragraph is not split over 2 pages. Preventing single lines will mean that a single word or line won't slip onto the next page. And add page break before means that you can put a page break into the style, particularly this will be good for your headers. Remember as well that if you do update your styles, then to go into the styles, click on the style itself in the little arrow and click update normal text to match, or whatever style it is. And this way it means that your styles will be consistently applied throughout your document. If you do create a set of styles that you really like, then you can go into options and click save as my default styles, and that means that when you create a new document it will have those styles in as well. So I hope this guide has been really helpful in teaching you about the line and paragraph spacing in Google Docs, and so you can apply that extra professional touch to your documents going forward.